Hey creators, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another video, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. Today I wanted to talk about, I know everyone and their mother has been talking about the situation because it's something that just brings about a guttural reaction in people, and there's a reason why. It's the BenTellect situation, and I first heard about it a few days ago, and I was like, that's really fucked up. Oh my god. I was kind of marinating on it for a bit, and I think there's a lot to be said about the very predatory nature of this man and why it's not okay at all what he's doing. And I think that we should have a conversation about the power dynamics when it comes to large creators inviting smaller creators onto their platforms to perhaps invite perhaps a big break on their part if they're trying to start careers, etc., etc. So, first of all, if you don't know about the situation, there's this guy named BenTellect, and he's just he makes these really cringe TikToks. He has 11 million followers, and everyone kind of dunks on him. I mean, like, I'm not gonna show any of his videos, I know, but, he's basically just the most bare bones, low effort content of seeing a tweet and reading it out loud and does a silly little giggle, and that's his entire content, quote unquote. And it's I don't know how this got so popular. Again, it's probably just it's just like literal children with no attention spans. It's just something that you'd scroll through mindlessly. It doesn't take any actual talent or anything. No offense, but anyways, he can try and sue me because he likes to sue people, but he can take like my -$8, so he'll owe me money then if he tries to sue me. You can try. I'm just a little guy, okay? Anyways. So this guy, he makes these cringe TikToks, and basically what has come out recently is that he preys on people to go onto his podcast. He preys on women, basically, to go onto his podcast, and then he solicits them for sex, basically. It's really fucked up. So basically, this first situation is that this creator, who has a much smaller platform than him, named Jordan Max, was invited onto his podcast, and basically he asked her to do an OnlyFans video with him. And like, this was before they did the podcast, and she was like, sorry, I don't want to do that. Like, like, you don't have an account on OnlyFans, and also we haven't done the proper setup for it and everything, and of course, like, getting tested for everything, and also, of course, it's just a strange proposition. And he brings it around. He's like, oh, I just want to help you make content, and I can feature in a video on your channel to grow your channel. And it's just this really weird, I don't want to call him a predator straight up, but it does come off as incredibly predatory. And maybe he is a predator, because it's like, it's just using your large platform as a means to pressure someone into doing content that they don't want to do that's just fucking predatory. I'm sorry. Like, that's actually predatory. But basically, she denied him and was like, sorry, I don't want to do that with you. And right before they were gonna do the podcast, like an hour before, he's like, sorry, I found someone else to do it with, Lamau. And she's like, oh, okay. It's insane because, yeah, he basically went, hey, gotta do the pickle video with someone else. Thanks, though, praying emoji. And that's so passive aggressive after she denied him sex, that's just insane. And he said, and this is the most cringe incel shit ever. What he says next is, to be honest, I thought it would just be fun to film and see where things go, but I got it. Like, oh my god, stop being passive aggressive because a woman denied you sex. Oh my god. Holy shit. It's just so creepy. Of course, I think I do understand. The thing about having such a platform, it really warps the mind. I mean, of course, he must have been a creep all along, but having such a large platform makes someone feel like they're invincible and that they can just tell people to do things, and people will do things with them and for them because they have a large platform. And it gives people a power trip to try and do these things without thinking that they're going to have consequences. And that's just the thing that's really fucked up about these large people with large platforms inviting people onto their platforms with much smaller platforms themselves, and then pressuring them to do things. Like, that happened with this Nick is Not Green, or Green is Not Nick, I don't remember which channel of his it was on, talked about this singer on TikTok who is this older man who, I'll link the video below, I don't remember the exact details, but this older man, basically, with a lot of followers, invited this 19-year-old girl to he basically flew out to her and tried to make moves on her while featuring her on his TikTok, and she felt really pressured by this man with this huge platform, and trying to speak up against him was really difficult because again he had such a much larger platform than he did, and it was just really messed up. And I'll link that video below. I know there's a lot of details that I'm missing, but that I think that's a similar situation about when there's people with these large platforms. One, they have the backing behind them for if there was drama against them, they would be able to kind of squash that with their own massive fan base. And second of all, there's also that pressure towards these smaller content creators who really just want to make a living, make it big, etc., be able to kind of have their own channel or social media account take off in a way that could actually change their life. There's that power being held over them by these people with these massive platforms to try to pressure them to do things, which is it's just straight up predatory. Like that's the word for it. I know that's a really intense word to use, but it's predatory, especially with someone like BenTellect, where it has come out that he's done this to many women, like a lot of people, and he has no sense about how he thinks this platform gives him so much power that he can do whatever he wants, basically. So basically, he's done this to many women. He keeps asking women to do things with them, and they refuse him, and he gets really, really mad. And it's just like, oh my god, how dare you refuse someone with such, it's so fucked up. I don't get it. It's there's this other DM that came out where he offered to pay his OnlyFans creator $1,000 to go over with him, make some money with him, and they said, don't try to bribe me with money, that's weird. And he said, no, that is weird, but I want to see you. It's like, that's just ultra creep behavior. It's just a lot. There's a lot in the situation. Okay, he posted this response, and it's trash. It's a trash response. He says, I've recently been accused of some heinous actions and would like the opportunity to share my disgust at these accusations. I'm a firm believer in the rights and equality of all humans, including women. Including women? Okay. He says, I grew up in a home with 3 sisters and no brothers, so I learned very on the importance, power, love, and abilities women have. Oh my god, he just loves women so much, doesn't he? He loves and respects women so much. That's so awesome of him. Oh my god. And he says, they deserve to be cherished and uplifted and treated with respect, and that's how I lived my life. Like, he hadn't just shown the ultimate disrespect to many women that he tried to actually prey upon with his platform. And he says, I do not condone the statements or accusations that have suddenly been hoisted upon me, and I hope to speak to anyone who feels they have been wronged. And it's just the contradictions there. He's like, we can talk about it. I'm gonna talk to these people making these accusations, but also fuck you for making accusations about me. They're totally false. Quick update, he DM'd Jordan Max and was like, I'm gonna sue you. That's it. That's his version of talking it out with these victims that are accusing him. It's literally right there. Your actions are literally right there. Like, he's not even... I don't understand. That's just an incredibly pathetic response, I think. Especially the whole thing about, like, my mom is a woman. I love women. You can't tell me that I hate women because I have a sister. And it's like, that doesn't actually mean anything. That's just literally deflecting, and you haven't even mentioned how predatory you've been acting. He hasn't even mentioned the accusations, really. He just says, like, the accusations, of course, and that's, like, number one worst thing you can do in an apology is be like, I don't approve of these accusations, without actually fucking, like, saying what the accusation is, because it's like, when you have a platform of 11 million people, not all 11 million people are gonna do their own research, so they're just going to read the statement and be like, oh my god, he's being accused of things, and I'm gonna stay on his side because I'm following him, and I see this statement from him that he's this awesome person who loves women and thinks they should be cherished. But it's just, oh my god. That's a horrible response. Anyways, yeah, there was another woman with some DM also where he got really upset and called them a flake. And she was like, I didn't text you for a day. And he said, go fuck yourself. It's like, dude, he's literally like those fucking r/nice guy posts where they're like, hey, you're very pretty, and then they turn them down and they're immediately like, fuck you, you're a terrible person, you're never gonna get far in life, you're just a terrible woman. It's like, oh my god, like the switch being flipped, the absolute front that he puts on, the absolute, like, the audacity of this bitch. Oh my god. Anyways, I think that's about it. of the situation. There's not really much else I can say at this point. It's just some really fucked up shit. I hope that these things turn out good for these women that he's preyed upon and that they're able to kind of get past this. And it's just, I think that there needs to be more accountability held for creators that use their platforms to, again, prey upon smaller creators who are only just trying to grow their own platforms and have this sense of like how their lives could be entirely changed by just being featured by this person and this person holding power over them with that. And it's just, it's so fucked up. Again, it's completely predatory in my opinion, and I think that it's just, we should talk about that type of dynamic more, because we talk a lot about how people with large platforms prey upon people in general, like their fans, but I feel like there's not that much conversation around how large creators prey on smaller creators at all. I think that needs to be brought up more because it's really a terrible thing, especially again, dangling that proposition of like being able to change someone's life for the better, especially people who are struggling with smaller channels and social media accounts, struggling to make their dreams come true, struggling to make ends meet. That's just really fucked up in my opinion. And I think that that needs to end and we should hold people more accountable and of course just take everything with a grain of salt when it comes to creators' apologies when these accusations are being made about them, because yeah, that was such a shit apology on his part. But anyways, that's about all I have with that situation. I I just am, it's fucked up. I don't, it makes me feel very sick to my stomach reading these DMs. But anyways, if you like the video, make sure to like and subscribe. I do art and commentary, some more art things, I guess. I'm trying to grow my channel. I'm a small creator. I'm almost to 1K. I hope to get there soon. I really want to do more of this kind of stuff. But anyways, I'll see y'all in the next video. Have a great one. Bye.